Hello, my butterfly beauties, and welcome. If you are new, my name is Charlen, and on this channel, we discuss everything beauty, fragrance, and lifestyle. So if you like my style, why don't you subscribe and you stay a while? In today's video, we are going over several of the Lancome Idôle fragrances that I picked up recently during some of these hauls I've been doing. Got them half off, so I decided to give the line a try. And I have 4 to go over with you. The new release, Peaches and Roses, I have coming. I did test that in store, put it on my skin, and I will tell you about that one as well. So if all of that sounds good to you, then just stay tuned. What I have done, I wanted to test these back out because they released this new Peaches and Rose and it got me intrigued. And I put my nose on it and it made me even more intrigued. And I said, you know what? Because I only tried the original Idôle, and then I ended up giving it away. That's before I even started my channel. That's when I still had about around 50 fragrances in my collection. And you know the aesthetic of the bottle, super slim, right? Let me show you, because this is the original one I had before. So it's back in my collection. But you see, it has that sleek, slim design, which is beautiful, but it makes it hard for standing up. So I hated the storing capability of this, and the scent compared to my other scents in my collection was just okay, in my opinion, at the time. So I decided to give this away to a friend, and they loved it. So I was happy that I was able to give it to someone who loved it. We know our scents change over time. Our nose get more trained. We get used to different things. So as these new flankers have come out since then, I've never even looked at them. Like, I wasn't checking for them. Let's just say that. But some of them have had some intriguing notes. So the one that really got me intrigued was these last two, the Nectar one and the Peaches and Rose. So Ulta, during their 21 days of beauty, put those on sale 50% off. Yes, they had several of the Lancome fragrances 50% off during one of the days, and then they also, I think, put them back up on that bonus day. So I was able to get one of them in the bigger size, and I got other ones in the smaller size. So let's go ahead and get started. What I have done is I've sprayed them all on my skin to do testing. They've been sitting here for quite a minute. I've been doing other things. I even had my husband sniff the papers because I also sprayed them on papers so we can get some dry down on the paper as well. So I've been letting it do its thing while I was doing other things. So now we're here to film my thoughts on each and every one of the fragrances. And I'm also going to do a little ranking for you guys. So if any of you are checking for these or wanting a little bit more details about how they compare to each other. So the ones I have today, I have Idôle Nectar, I have the original leather perfume, I have Idôle Now, and Idôle Power. So, and I will talk about Peaches and Roses because I have already smelled that one in person and I've already tested it on skin. If it gets to me in time, I'll be sure to put a clip in the video. If not, I do have a clip from whenever I was in store testing it. So either way, I will be sharing with you about the new release that they did, Peaches and Roses. All right, so let's start off with the original. So this is the, what size is this? This is the one that comes in the 25 ml, or they say it's 0.8 fluid ounce. So it comes in this box like this and bottle like this, right? This is the original. When you smell this original, This is the one, they're all florals. This is a rose base fragrance line. So the Idôle, just let's get that out of the way, is a rose base. And I think that's what turned me off from originally, is because I'm not big on roses, right? And I wasn't, especially in the past. I love me some jasmine, and I've learned to appreciate other fragrances like violet and iris, learning the other different florals. So I never was huge on roses, but I've come to appreciate that scent note over time. With that being said, this one, let me tell you the notes. So the original notes for the regular Idôle has pear, bergamot, and pink pepper in the top note, rose and jasmine in the mid, and then white musk, vanilla, patchouli, and cedar in the base. And when I smell this one, I immediately get the fresh, airy, floral. You smell the jasmine, you get the brightness about it, you get the clean, fresh energy about it. I get the muskiness is what I really get. This to me reminds me more of a rose musky scent. Like if you love a musk with the floral blend, you're gonna love the original Idôle, is what I'm getting from this. To me, this one screams spring, summer, fall. It screams feminine. Like I said, it's clean, it's airy. You're gonna get several hours of wear. This is something that will be somebody's signature scent. I definitely think that you will love this. Like I said, spring, summer, fall time. Picnics, going out on family gatherings, doing all the little spring activities, definitely. I can even see someone, trying to do like a movie night or something like that kind of date. Just, where you're trying to chill and just be pretty and feminine. Work, going to your Sunday services, whatever you want to call it. I think this would be something that would be appropriate for this. This is definitely giving me clean, fresh, airy rose. That's a musky rose at the same time. So that is what I feel about the original Idôle, right? So the next one I have here is the Idôle Now. So this is what that one looks like. Idôle Now has this ombre of looks orangey, and then it ombres up and gets lighter as you go. But this one is rose in the top, orchid in the mid, and then it has vanilla in the base. So when you smell this one here, whereas the original one gave you more rose with some jasmine and dominant of the musk, this one gives you rose with the orchid, and it dashes in that vanilla for you. So it's a richer rose with that orchid blend that smells absolutely gorgeous. It has a slight creaminess about it. It has some warmth in it. It has some intensity to it. It has some nice depth and sweetness to it that I really do appreciate for this one. I wrote down that it's powdery. This one was one of the favorites from my husband. When he first sniffed it, he was like, it's one he did not like. So I'll get to that one in a minute. I'll get to that one in a minute. But this one I think he liked the most. This one and the other one I'll tell you about. I think he liked the most out of the four here that he smelled. He smelled the paper and he smelled them on my skin. The first one that I just shared with you, he thought was just okay. He didn't have nothing negative to say about it. This one I think was his favorite out of them all. And to be honest, I'm going to do a ranking, but I'll let you know in a minute. Like I said, this is rose, orchid, vanilla. It has more intensity to it than the other one. It has slight powderiness about it. Has some creaminess. And I feel like this can be worn any time of the year. Like all year long, put this on. This can be a great scent for you. It smells beautiful. And as it's been drying down, it's just getting better and better. So I love that rose with the orchid blend with the vanilla in this Now. Idôle Now. It's amazing. All right, so the next one I have for you guys is Idôle Power. Power, yes. So this is what this one looks like. This is also that same size, that 25 ml 0.8 fluid ounce. Is the last three I've been sharing with you is what that one is. This one is the one they got it advertised as Idôle's first fruity woodsy scent. So when you smell this, it is powerful. So I can see why they put power on there. So they have that Pomerose that is supposed to mimic a candy apple essence. Then it has Damascena, that Damascus rose, that's supposed to be warm and deep and florally, right? And then creamy sandalwood, that's supposed to give a rich woodsy scent. So this here, let me tell you what this is. This, when you first spray it and as it dries down, even on my skin, think about the bark or the stem of an apple tree. If you was in an apple orchard and you smelled those, like them picking the apples, the stem, the bark, the actual stem of the apple tree, that fresh woodsy scent that you smell, but it still has some slight fruitiness because it's an apple tree and you picking the apple, so you got that apple aroma. So blend that scent in with the rose and the sandalwood. And that's what you get with this. When my husband smelled this, he says it smelled like incense to him. Like in the wintertime when someone first lights their incense and it has that fruity, woodsy smell, that's what he picked up from when he smelled this. It was a turn off for him on my skin, even on the paper. He don't like this one. He don't like this one. You definitely have to be into some woodsy, floral, fruity, floral scent for you to enjoy this one. But for them to say it was power, it is power. It's going to get your attention. It's got some intensity to it. So it's definitely living up to the name. But do you want to have a fruity, woodsy, floral, dominant scent? If you do, if that scent profile sounds good to you, then Power will be the good choice for you in this particular case. I put on here that woodsy, rosy, powdery, incensey, and I feel like this will be great for fall, winter, springtime. Not for the summer, not for me. Now, I immediately, when I smelled this, I immediately thought about Victoria's Secret released that Dreamy Orchard scent back in the fall. If you have that scent in your collection, you know how it has that same kind of element of that, but it has more of a predominant apple scent. This doesn't have a predominant apple scent. It says that Pomerose is supposed to be a candied apple. I'm not getting any candy in this. This is straight up woodsy floral to me. They say fruity. It's slightly fruity, but I say all that to say, if you have that Dreamy Orchard scent that I'm talking about, that they released this past fall from Victoria's Secret, that will pair beautifully with this, because it also had that fresh picked off the tree apple scent to me. If you go back and look at my video reviewing that fall collection, I literally said it smelled like you was picking apples. Like, that's what it smelled like to me. So this right here, and it has more of a sweetness to it. So to me, that will pair beautifully with this particular scent, because this is definitely, they nailed it when they said this is their first fruity, woodsy, floral scent. They nailed that scent profile. You just got to be into that scent profile to appreciate it. And I think this will layer very well with some tea notes as well. If you have any of your fruity tea notes, like that Dreamy Petals, also is another Victoria's Secret body mist that I'm thinking of. I wore it today, and that's why it's in my mind, because tea can give you like that earthy element as well that this woodsiness is giving in here. So that will layer very well with this too, and it will add that element of that raspberry in there, giving it a touch of sweetness. Yeah, because it has a slight sweetness about it. When I was looking at the notes, they was talking about that Palmer Rose can give you a candied apple. So I was thinking it would be a little bit more sweeter than it was. But the scent overall is okay. So you got to be into that. What about the next one? All right, so this next one is the one that I did get in the bigger size. And this is the Idôle Nectar. So Idôle Nectar, this size here is the 100 ml or 3.4 fluid ounce. And let me share something with you that's a little different. So you know how I was talking about the bottle design of this, how it has that edging like this, so it makes it hard for standing. The bigger sizes, do you see, they have a little extra curvature to it to help it stand up. So this one can stand up pretty well. This one, as soon as I sit it down, is a little shaky. So I wish they would have did this design on all of the bottles. And I think people who are having trouble with this, even though this is nice and sleek, you know, throw it in your bag, do whatever you want to do with it. This design here, I think, is better. And I guess they really needed to do it with these because you'll be having these bottles breaking everywhere on everybody. So at least they thought about it. And each of these has a little, I don't know if you can see, it's like a little curvature in here where you hold it. So it's not like it's sleek and falling out your hand. And this one has that too. I don't know if you can see it or not. You see a little ring here because that's where the dip is. So they all have a little like circle spot here where you can kind of hold it. But I'm liking the fact that they actually put this extra level of security there because it is very much needed. But this one, according to the Ulta site, has rose souffle for the top notes. Then it says mouth-watering popcorn accord and irresistible bourbon vanilla. And on the Fragrantica site for this one, it has 3 different roses. So whereas Ulta listed rose souffle because it was a blend of roses, they actually specify on Fragrantica. They got Grasse rose, regular rose, and Turkish rose. It's in the top. Caramel and popcorn, which is a smaller note in there, is in the mid, and then vanilla in the base. And what I can tell you about this one is this one to me is one that you can wear anytime. Don't let that caramel and popcorn note throw you off. It's just got a nice sweet and saltiness to it. The popcorn note is very minimal, so it's not too loud and prominent. So if that's what something you wanted in this fragrance, it's not prominent in here at all, at least not in my opinion. This to me is your vanillic, caramel, creamy, sweet, richer rose in this scent. And this one has more of the rose with the sweetness. So we got a little theme going. You had the rose with the jasmine with the musk, right? Then you had the rose with the orchid plant, the flower, right? Then you got the rose with the woods. And then this is your sweet rose. Like this is your caramelized, vanillic, creamy rose. That's what this one is. It's giving you more sweetness. It still has a little more intensity than the original. And I saw somewhere that people are finding this harder and harder to find. And I'm wondering if they're discontinuing this one because that's what I see rumored, that this one may be getting discontinued, which is sad because the popcorn note in here isn't strong. So if that was a deterrent for some people, it shouldn't have been, because Nectar, Idôle Nectar, I'm just getting some nice sweet roses, like caramelized rose scent in here is what I'm picking up on here. Nice and creamy and sweet rose is beautiful. This one is beautiful. I love this one a lot, and I feel like this one can be worn anytime. I feel like it can be worn anytime for sure. Yeah, it's gorgeous to me. It has the rose in there, like, you know, all of them. They all have the rose. That is the Idôle signature floral throughout the whole line. So they got the rose throughout all of them, but they just did a little twist with the rose. So this one is your sweet, gourmand-like rose. Then you got the regular one that is just your plain up roses. I mean, it has some pear and pink pepper and all that in there too, but it's mostly your straight up rosy, musky scent to me. Then you have the Now, which is the rose with the orchid blend. That's a little bit more intense than the original. Then you got the Power that's giving you that woodsy rose. So that is those ones I have in front of me. Now, I did go in store, like I said, and put my nose on Peaches and Roses. So let me tell you a little bit about that one, because that is their new release. So that is the one that they're doing a little bit more of a fruity twist with it. So they have on here as the notes, red berries and pink pepper in the top, peach as the main accord in the middle, and of course rose is the base for this one. So this one is supposed to be giving you that fruity sweet rose. We done touched on florally rose, musky rose, woodsy rose, sweetened rose, and this is your take on a fruity rose leaning towards the peaches. And what I could tell you about this one is that it smells so good. The peach in here on my skin was beautiful. Again, it was a nice, beautiful peach and rose scent. I thought I was going to be turned off about it at first, but I was not. And I'll go into more details when I get it in. But it was a beautiful blend of the two, is what I can tell you about it for right now. It was a beautiful blend of the peaches with the rose. It just blended so well together. It was gorgeous, and it played well on my skin chemistry, which made me super, super happy. And I just picked it up with my points, so you guys know I was telling you how I wasn't happy with a couple of the fragrances I got with my points during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. Like right at the end of the sale, I decided to cash in points on a couple of fragrances. A couple of them I was not happy with, so I returned them. My points reloaded, and I was able to get the Peaches and Roses, and they had it on sale on top of that. So it's on its way. I loved it, and I got it on sale, and I got to get it with my points. So I'm super happy about that. So I don't know if it's still on sale on the site, but last time I checked it was, and if it is, I'll highly recommend that one, you guys. I really do. I highly recommend that one. So let's go ahead and rank the ones that's right here in front of me, and we will go from there. So in last place, I think you guys already know, last place for me and my hubby, although the woodiness of this one tones down a lot as it dries down, and it's getting more creamier and less woodsy, it's still for me, out of these four, it still for me falls in last place. Not a strong like, it's not a love, it's okay. And so we'll see about that one. But Idôle Power, that's where it is for me. So in number third place, we'll go to the original Idôle. This one for me, I enjoy it, but it's not a strong love. I'm not a big musky girl. Clean, freshy scents, I can get that from Miss, but I can understand why people love it. I enjoy it. It's just not a strong love. So it is a strong like, but it's more of a like than the previous one. So that is the original Idôle. That's one in third place for me. And then first and second kind of can go either way depending on the mood. Depending on the mood, they can go either way because I love them for different reasons. I love the rose and orchid blend here in the Now. This one to me is beautiful and I love it. I really do. I love it. I really love that scent. It is beautiful. But I also love the sweetened rose as well. I love the sweetened rose as well. So it's like, do I want the sweet caramelized rose or do I want the rose with the orchid blend, but it also has some nice sweetness to it as well. To me, these can go hand in hand. They can interchange. You know, one day I love one more than the other one. So this is first and second place. You pick which one you want it to go in. That's how it is for me. That's what these are. So these two are my favorites out of this. The Idôle Now, Idôle Nectar favorites. And where peaches and rose will fall in there, we shall see. We shall see. But tell me, you guys, do you have these scents in your collection? If you do, what are your thoughts on them? I would love to know. So put it down below in the comments. Let the Butterfly Beauty fam know how you've been wearing this fragrance. If you're layering it with anything, what's your opinion on these fragrances in these flankers? The bottle shape and sizes of them, the scent profile of them, the longevity of them. How do you feel about them? I would love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Before you go, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. Give me a big thumbs up. And if you have the hype feature, hype the video. And you guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.